Dan rode well, consistent. I had a few little mishaps here and there that cost me a bit, but that's racing. But it's my best finish to date. So
pretty happy. We are too. Let's hear it. Come on, Taupo, Scott Moya. Unfortunately, we're doing the podium while a great sidecar race is underway, but I'm sure you get the importance of what we're going to do, so we'll rock on still with our podium. Oh, Damon, this is Damo back. We know you did it at Ruapuna, and you've done it here at the final as well. You have dominated. You owned it here today. I'm sure feeling much happier.
Oh, yeah, it's a wicked result. I just had so much fun in that race. When Scotty come by me, I'm like, man, he's on a mission, and I just tagged along, and when he started to back off in terms of speed, I was like, all right, you're mine now. So I had a couple of dodgy goes in turn one and eventually made it stick into the hairpin. That was a pretty good race, and like I said, once I got the lead, I put my head down and made a couple of little mistakes, but still held on to bring home the big red Honda on number one.
Well done indeed, they have. Let's hear it, folks. They are your heroes. New Zealand Superbike road racing action. Here and well done. And we want to take nothing away from Al Hugi, who's got a third place in the title. So let's have a round of applause for Al, folks. Al, he's got 3 NZ. You've got 1 NZ, 2 NZ, and number 3 NZ not here with us at the moment. Let's let the media do their job. Thank you, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff down there at Park Fermate. Awesome podium celebrations down there. And while they were underway up here with a 12-lap sidecar race. So into this one with Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan carrying on out in front of this one. The number 73 machine. Into turn one they go. The Triple One of Pete the Pirate and Louise Blythe there in second place. And then we see the Chris and Richie Lawrence, the Lawrence brothers there, using all of Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. A little puff of dust comes up. So they're definitely racy at the moment. They normally come stronger at the latter part of the weekend and the latter part of the race. So look out for the Lawrence brothers at the moment. Mark Halls and Darren Prentice there in fourth place with Andy and Tina back in fifth. So they're going to need to grab a couple of positions. Andy and Tina, their fifth place is not going to be probably good enough to do their championship fight justice. We haven't got the updated points here at the moment. So we're out there at the moment with Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan, the Carl Cox Motorsport team. And great news for Tracy, off to do some awesome sidecar racing in Europe later on this year, so we wish her all the best for that. But then Pete the Pirate, Louise Blythe there in second place on the Triple One machine, under all sorts of pressure now from the number 3, the Suzuki of Chris and Richie Lawrence. Absolutely brilliant stuff from them. Mark Halls and Darren Prentice still holding firm there in fourth place, and Andy and Tina in fifth, but they're definitely going to want to grab a few more championship points than that if they want to make this one. Matt Peters and Doug Corns, Fred and Doug there, they are in sixth place. Gordy McEwen and Louis Scrivener there in seventh place, with Dave MacArthur, Tony New, eighth place, and Bryce Rickard and Cullum Innes there back in 10th place in this one, and first timers at Manfield last week and already top 10 at the moment there, so brilliant stuff from them. As we watch another lap down, and Barry Smith, Tracy Bryan crossing the line. So 8 laps to go now in this one. But this is the battle for second we're keeping our eyes on. This is a great little battle from Pete the Pirate and the Lawrence brothers there. So Louise doing the swing in there for Pete on the Triple One, the green and purple machine as they head around turn one. But look at the Lawrence brothers right in there behind them. So this is coming alive here. We see Mark Halls and Darren Prentice there in fourth place under pressure now from Andy and Tina. So the battle for fourth on track is heating up as well. So here we go in this one at the moment. So Barry and Tracy have been a class act here. They won the first one this morning and out there flying at the moment. So absolutely brilliant stuff from our sidecar action, and 8 laps to go in this one.
So just so many people, man oh man, what an atmosphere here. We are a family, folks, Motorcycle New Zealand, we are a family. Shout out goes to Lee McKinstry. Just spotted Lee, had a major crash at the New Zealand Motocross, and I've just spotted him with his neck harness on, and a huge operation, but he's on the road to recovery. More importantly, wants to come back. Another Taupo man, former New Zealand junior champion, all-round good guy. More importantly, top 5 in the Honda International Motocross Grand Prix at Woodville back in January of this year. But they're the setbacks of racing, but he's using it as a positive step to launch himself forward again. So all the best, Lee. Just another neat story about another winner from Taupo. Wow, what a racing. The Superbike's amazing. Sidecars, well, we've seen sidecars certainly in their top form here in the past, but I'll tell you what, this year, for the fact that some of our leading contenders did not do the South Island rounds, and that's left a bit of a gap. And now with Dennison trying to catch up on those points, Dennison in front and having that DNF means that it's been certainly a setback for him. So a non-likely chance of the championship, but well, we never say never. But there we go with 73. Brad's going to be here shortly to update our points. He's just gone off to get that points update, and it will be crucial. But 73 of Barry Smith, Tracy Bryan out there looking back to Pete the Pirate, along with Louise Blythe, and then go to Chris and Richie Lawrence. So with Andy and Tina further back, we won't quite get our podium of three ladies on it. Certainly I'd never call Richie Lawrence anything like a blouse. So there you go, folks, a podium, and a different kind of a podium at the moment. And Brad, the points?
Oh, this is absolutely knife-edge stuff. There's only 8 points separating Andy Scrivener and Dennis Charlotte, but Dennis not out there at the moment, so you go to a 13-point gap. Andy back to Pete the Pirate. So at the moment, it's going to be the Chris and Richie Lawrence brothers that are going to be out there at the moment. So Dennis is out there in 10th place, so we've noticed Dennis is actually out there. So full credit to Dennis, who's had a pretty tough weekend all through, and here he is around there in 10th place. So brilliant stuff from Dennis. As we keep an eye on the points battle, so it is Andy and Tina with a 13-point advantage over Pete the Pirate, who then have a further 8 points back to Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan. So a 21-point lead over Tracy and Barry. So it's going to be the 13 points between Pete the Pirate and Andy and Tina. So I'd say the Richie Lawrence Chris and Richie Lawrence brothers might just about play a bit of a part in this one, but Andy in fourth. If Pete the Pirate's in second, that will be enough points to win the title for Andy and Tina. So this is all on at the moment, and absolutely brilliant stuff from Sidecars. There's only 6 laps to go as we see Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan crossing the line. Pete the Pirate under a lot of pressure now from the Lawrence brothers, and these guys normally come on strong at the end of the race, so we're definitely going to keep an eye on this one here, the battle for second. Really hot at the moment. There's Andy and Tina in 4, so that's all they need to do at the moment.
Well, indeed, with sidecar racing, one of the features of sidecars each year is the fantastic Suzuki Series. And a reminder, folks, of course, it will be back and right here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park a number of years ago, about 3 years ago. The team shifted from Hampton Downs, and they called this their new home for round number 1. And great news that we can announce that Sunday the 8th of December. Sunday the 8th of December will be the opening round, and right here at Taupo. So bring it all back with the Suzuki Series, and should be fantastic. Nice to see a Flea here. Wanted to catch up, but we sort of just passed quickly as each of us were heading in our own directions. So the Suzuki Series right back here, as it will be the following weekend at Manfield, and of course Boxing Day at Wanganui. So sidecars, and that's the reason I draw the relativity to it, is the fact that sidecars play a key role in that event, because I'm sure there'll be more internationals. In fact, Flea has already said there'll be more internationals, including Aussies and those from the UK, for sidecar action at Suzuki Series. So great to see. All right, so Barry, Pete, Chris, Andy and Mark, they're your top 5 in racing out there at the moment. And as Brad has been highlighting, and will continue to, we're looking at the points situation, because Andy Scrivener from Taupo did go to the South Island, holds a narrow lead of only 8 over Dennis Charlotte, who is out there in the race. And he is, in fact, has improved 2 placings. Started in 10th, he's already up to 8, so he's not one to be taken out yet as far as the overall calculation for a chance to the win. And then we've got Pete and Barry, who proved to be our 2 high flyers, and other guys doing it here at the moment. So with Barry in the front doing the 25, that means Pete's likely to get a 20-pointer in there, Brad. So what does that look like?
That'll be enough for second in the championship. So if the Lawrence brothers can get up ahead of Pete the Pirate, it'll give Barry and Tracy second place in the championship. So Andy and Tina, a 4th place finish. That'll give them more than 8 points ahead of them. So they've got the 4th place at the moment. So that's all they need to do. 4th place will be good enough for the title there, due to my maths. But it's the battle for second in the championship that's heating up, and it's all going to come down to whether Pete the Pirate can stay in second, and if he slips back to 3rd, that'll be all over for that. So it's all on here in NZSBK, and boy, we've had some great tussles in the sidecar racing, and absolutely brilliant to see the Lawrence brothers back out there in a good 3rd place at the moment.
Yes, it is indeed, and Chris and Richie, 2 of our real sidecar ambassadors, of course, with their accolades that they've achieved overseas. They're probably New Zealand's world-class sidecars. We know the Isle of Man, the greatest sidecar event in the world, and their acceptance over there is just colossal, and the respect for which they've gained makes them our true ambassadors of sidecar racing, and those brothers truly elite, and proud to come out of Taupo here, of course. So the Chris and Richie Lawrence show out there on the Coleman Suzuki supported LCR, stands for Lewis Christians in Racing, the chassis makers of these fantastic Swiss machines, so look out for them. LCR is Barry's, Pete's, and Chris's. So you've got LCR in first, second and third place. So, and if you were to look at each of them, you'd all feel that they are different, but it's underneath the chassis that is where the LCR secret is from, and these are world-class sidecars now racing right here in New Zealand. Barry Smith, 73, 111, Pete Goodwin, and the number 3 of Chris Lawrence are your hot shots out there at the moment. But it's what's happening with the placings of the others that we're looking to, is to see how they will have a chance for the title. Remembering, 4th place is 99 Andy Scrivener, who is at the moment the points leader, but can he stay there? Because his challenge comes from Dennis Charlotte, who when we last saw was in fact 8th place, having moved up from 10th through to 9th and then to 8th. But Brad is going to need better than that.
Yeah, he will. He'll need to do a whole lot more racing in the latter half of this one. But we'll notice Andy and Tina have definitely slowed their pace right up. So whether they're just conserving that machine, they've had problems with the brakes all weekend. They've had fuel pump problems at Manfield, and now maybe just conserving that engine. But they've got to be careful because Mark Hall's Darren Prentice, they're in 5th place. They're catching them up pretty quickly. So we'll keep an eye on that one, because if he drops back to 5th place, that'll shake the points up even further. So there's more drama to come, but just 3.5 laps to go. We'll see the Lawrence brothers. They love that little tight infield section, and Pete the Pirate just seems to find his own on these long straights. So this one's not done for. The battle for second, as we see Barry and Tracy, they're off in the distance. They're already starting their descent down the back straight. So absolutely brilliant display from Barry and Tracy. World-class sidecar team, and full credit to the Carl Cox Motorsport team for getting them behind Barry and Tracy and their efforts.
All right, so we're looking out for the 99, the green machine, folks. Sponsors sticker as they put on the side of it. So looking for sponsors, and if there was one, there'd be a sticker on the side of it, maybe with a machine that stands there like that. It might be your brand that you'd love to get in behind these boys. All-round nice guys. I've just appreciated them so much. Now, these boys had a large mechanical failure at the opening round at Ruapuna, and it spat some oil on the track, which actually resulted in the meeting being abandoned. Now, in fact, that was not their fault, because it wasn't the machine's fault as such. It was actually to do with a faulty seal around the filter, which is something way beyond their control. And at the hard time that they got, we just thought it was totally unnecessary, because they're the things that happen in racing. They happen all the time. It was unfair to sidecars. It was certainly unfair to Andy and co. So we were one of those that certainly got on their camp, and we've been proud to do so. And I've just respected this guy so much for so many years. I think it's what Spider would highlight, a 5 times New Zealand championship for Andy out there, and more importantly, still circulating and getting some awesome results out there. So we love Andy. Hope you do as well. Get him behind him. He's got a chance for that title here at the moment. And man, oh man, Brad, after we saw that incident at Taupo with that engine gone those months ago, you would not have thought that he would be here contesting number 1 today.
Oh, absolutely. This is a full credit to Andy and Tina. They've been so consistent throughout the series, and they've been battling that machine from time to time. But brilliant stuff. 4th place, that will be enough due to my mass for a national title for them. So brilliant stuff from Andy and Tina. But yeah, they're in 4th place at the moment. Mark Halls and Darren Prentice there on the CTR F2 machine. That's 5th place, but they're slowly catching up. But we saw the battle for second really heat up when the Lawrence brothers went inside Pete the Pirate at turn 1, but then Pete the Pirate argued back into turn 5. So that one's really come alive. The battle for second is on at the moment, and here's Tracy and Barry through the flip-flop. A few lapped sidecars to contend with, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. They're going to cross the line, 2 laps to go in this one, the final race for our sidecars in the championship. And this one here in the flip-flop really heating up with Pete the Pirate coming out of turn 14 and down the front straight, and then watch the Richie Lawrence show with Chris driving, Richie doing the swinging, and here we go into turn 1. This is going to be all on. This is where the Lawrence brothers really come alive. They even use some of the grass here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, so absolutely brilliant. You'll see the dust come up. They love going all over there, and this infield part's where they really come alive. So here we go. Watch out for that battle. There's 2 laps to go, and we're watching that one for second place. An all-important point. Pete the Pirate needs to finish in second if he wants to stay number 2 NZ at the moment.
Oh wow, so the pressure is certainly on, and some lovely Ctas coverage here at the moment as we see that sidecar wheel just run down the edge of the circuit, and in so doing get its edge off the tar seal and onto the grass/dirt, and you see that puff of dust coming up as it just clips up a little bit more grass off and throws the dust in the air. So sidecars at their brilliant best, scintillating to see these Avon tyres out there doing a whole lot of hard work as sidecar tyres have got to do. The geometry of these means you can't use gravity, you can't lean it over, you've got to use your sidecar swinger to do that. So that is 3 lots of rubber that's just being pressured so much to the max as they literally howl out there. Don't ever touch a sidecar tyre after it's been in a race, folks. Burn your fingers off for sure. 73, 111 and 3 is the order at the moment. Brad's been keeping you up to date with how the points line up, and it's the 99 here in 4th place, Andy Scrivener, where eyes are on. And they're on the other green machine. There's the other one, of course, is 19, so there's 9-9 and there's 1-9. As they go past, there's the 1-9 out there of Gordy McEwen, of course, and his lady Tina does the swinging for Andy Scrivener on the number 4. So if you're thinking of the name McEwen and you've seen them in the green nevers, well, there's hubby and wife, but no, they're not together. One on one machine, one on the other. Gotta love the family support for the sport. So Barry, Pete and Chris is your main show at the moment, but all eyes on Andy in that 4th place. He's got to hold it to stay number 1 NZ.
Yeah, absolutely. So lap traffic in the flip-flop really hindered the Lawrence brothers through there, but Pete the Pirate got through there, no worry. So we watched them into the S's, and it is the white flag. So last lap you see Richie Lawrence just climbing all over the back of that rig, trying to get every little bit out of it. So absolutely brilliant to see them back in racing form. They're going to try and have a look up the inside, but they're not quite close enough. But definitely all on here. The battle for second in the race is the one we're watching on the awesome Ctas footage is Pete the Pirate, so the back end sliding around and awesome stuff to see. But Barry and Tracy out there in the distance, they're gone and running away with this one. But then the battle for second, that is all important with the battle for the overall second place. Needs to be a second place in this race for Pete the Pirate with Barry and Tracy out in front, and with a 21-point buffer back to Barry and Tracy. 4th place to be good enough to be ahead of them. A 13-point buffer to Pete the Pirate. Pete the Pirate in second, and them in 4th place. That's more than 13 points, so that will be a title, I believe, for Andy McEwen and Andy Scrivener and Tina McEwen. So that's the one I've called, and we'll see Barry and Tracy down the back straight at the moment. So full credit to them. They've done a perfect display here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, and they are into the flip-flop now, so there's a bit of lap traffic for them to contend with. But a full credit to the Carl Cox Motorsport team, 2 from 2 today as they round it with turn 14 and sneak down the front straight. So there's the checkered flag out for Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan. They'll take 2 wins from 2 today, and the battle for second, it will be Pete the Pirate leading into turn 14, but the Lawrence brothers are right on the back wheel. It is going to be Pete the Pirate, so second place for Pete the Pirate and a 3rd for the Lawrence brothers. So great to have the Lawrence brothers, the one standalone round this season they've done, and they get a podium right at the end of the day. So brilliant stuff from them. Great clean racing from the sidecars, and your podium for that race, Barry Smith, Tracy Bryan, Pete the Pirate, Goodwin, Louise Blythe in second, and Chris and Richie Lawrence in third. But 4th place in the flip-flop now, I believe, due to my mass, this could be a national title coming up for Andy Scrivener and Tina McEwen. So they're coming out there. They're the ones that went down to the South Island. They got the valuable points down there, and absolutely brilliant to see them cross the line. Absolutely brilliant, and Andy knows it. I think he's absolutely stoked there. Mark Halls and Darren Prentice, they chased them all the way to the end. They were a good 5th place finish there, and Matt Peters and Doug Corns there, a great 6th place. They've just got faster and faster as the year's gone on. So absolutely brilliant to see them up there. And Gordy McEwen and Louis Scrivener still out there as well. That's 6th and 7th. Dennis Charlotte got home in 8th with a great performance from him. Absolutely brilliant stuff. So absolutely brilliant stuff. That was drama-filled. And Andy Scrivener, Tina McEwen, your sidecar champion. So absolutely brilliant. So we'll cross down now to Neil, who will have some action down in Parc Ferme.
Well, for this one, we're probably going to be cutting into the start of the 600s to do our sidecar, so we'll be as quick as we can, folks, so that we can get back over to Brad to cover our 600 race. We know that's going to be fast, we know it's going to be exciting, but here we are. We must salute our sidecars, a traditional part of racing in New Zealand. World-class machinery and even more world-class pilots on board. Well done. Look at that. And the first thing that Tracy does when she lets go is give a big pat on the back to Barry. So here, well done. Aren't they incredible. Yes, indeed, courtesy of course, the Inline Cafe, this fabulous brand new cafe operating at Phillip Island, which has been done by Carl Cox Motorsport. So take an opportunity. There's some amazing bikes on display. So if you are taking a trip to Phillip Island at any stage, make sure you check out their cafe, and the Inline 4 will be something amazing. So here, check it out. All right, neat to have the Lawrence brothers back in Taupo, the only race that they've finished, I think, in the entire championship, and they've saved it for us right here today. We love Lawrence brothers racing, and the Motul Suzuki boys have done it, and great to see. How many battles for these guys in New Zealand sidecar. They are the epitome of the sport, ladies and gentlemen, so great to see. So here we are with our 111 to pull it up here at the moment, and we just need to wait for those points to be confirmed. Of course, we probably won't have Andy and Tina here, but we'll wait for that calculation. We're pretty sure they are NZ number 1, so great to have them up here. There they are, the ladies. So we've broken the mould for about the last 8 races. We've had the lady swingers 1, 2, and 3, but we've only got 2 of them on this occasion. It's, in fact, it's written on her helmet. It's her awesome excellence. So here we are. Yeah, they don't want to come. They don't want to come. Tracy, what an amazing series here in New Zealand this year. How good was it?
Look, it's been quite a few sidecars out there. I think there's been some really good racing, which we haven't seen in a long time. Head off to, I think Andy and Scrivy and Tina have probably taken this out. We chose not to go south. Probably a bad decision now in hindsight. But you've got to turn up and you've got to keep ticking away at it, and they've done that. And as far as I know, by my calculations, they should have taken out. So well done to them, and good luck to everyone. And they've done such a great job out there. So, and awesome riding by Barry, of course.
Yeah, we love it as well. Well, here we go to Chris and Richie. Welcome back to Taupo, matey. Nice to see you. How are you feeling? What have you been doing? It's been a long time between drinks.
Oh yeah, getting a bit old, but just got to keep coming out and showing the young fellas how to do it.
Lovely words. What was Taupo like today?
I love this place. It's hard on the tyres, but you can see out there I'm enjoying myself and having a great battle there with Pirate in that one, so good fun.
Come on, folks, let's hear it. Lawrence brothers are back. Yes, indeed. When we thought they'd disappeared, they've come back for the finale here today. And well done to Pete and Louise. Man, the pressure. But have you stuck there for the second? We'll have to do the calculating. We'll find out shortly.
I honestly don't know. I've been disappointed with what's happening this weekend for me. It's gone the wrong way. But nevertheless, I think we made up for it a little bit in the second one. My passenger did great. We lost the brakes in the last race, which probably the reason why we got by Chris and Richie. Louise has done remarkable because I lost the back tyre as well as my brakes, and so we were riding on eggshells. But it was the last ride of the season, and I just had to go for it because there was no other place to go.
Well done. They are fabulous, folks. Come on, let's hear it to the sidecar fraternity out there. Aren't they awesome? Great to see Chris and Richie back, along with the awesome Barry and Tracy, and of course Pete and Louise, who've been in excellent form throughout this championship. Hey, but over here, 99. Come on, Andy Scrivener and Tina. Scrivy, just before they start, mate, what a good one. Well done. How you feeling?
Well, who would have thought I'd have actually got a title on a long bike? I mean, it wasn't me that, I never thought I'd get it on a long bike because there's the guys on long bikes that are such good riders and they've been doing it for so long. And then I look at Tina and she has done a fantastic job. She's awesome. Tina is absolutely awesome. I mean, I'm a bit of a maniac on the track, as most people know, and I've lost 16 passengers in my time.